So we're in Class 4A here. This class has been split. A lot of steers in this section, so they've split it into an A and a B. Here we have highly commended, tag number 644, the yellow steer. Good, safe, honest steer. Doesn't have probably the muscle and that of the steers above him. You know, he's got what you call a safe top in him, but probably just lacks a bit behind. But a steer that's well covered and has got good depth, but a very strong class here to judge. It was very tough. He's come highly commended in a very tough field. Another highly commended steer here in no particular order, these two highly commendeds, tag 149. I like the top through him. He probably just, when you get back and have a look down through the hindquarter, he doesn't have that overall muscle. You know, he's not as high as muscle as some of the steers above him, but a steer that's got good even fat cover throughout and nice depth down through into that leg, but just lacks that muscle behind. But a very safe steer and a good eating steer looking at him. In fifth place here we have the Black Limo Cross steer. A nice steer. I really like the top through him. But when we start to get higher up in the placings, there's just some steers that outperformed him. I like the top through him. I've just got him there in fifth there today. Probably feel there's some steers that have got a bit more volume overall to him, but a good steer, as you get a good view there as he turns around. We probably just went a bit with some safer steers that's going to have the cover and probably just score a bit higher, but he's a nice steer and could place higher in the carcass. The black steer before you, I really like the length of this steer, as you get a good view of him there. A very safe steer. I like the way he feels himself out. A good hindquarter to him and just a good honest steer. This was a very tough class, and it's very hard to actually explain how you've placed them because we're unable to get them side by side. So we're just going off, you know, what we're thinking here as we go along. But I think when we get higher up, you really appreciate the quality of the steers above him. But this steer is a very good steer, and you know, he's going to be up there in the placings. In third place here we have tag number 661, the yellow Baldy steer, as you can see. Side on, I really like the depth to this steer. Probably doesn't have the length of the steer that I put in fourth, but you've got to get on top of him and have a good look over the top to appreciate his top line in him. A steer that's going to be score very good distribution and evenness points. And as I said, there's not a lot splitting these top four, but I just went with the preference of this steer. You've really got to get on top of him and have a good look at him. He comes around, you know, probably not as high yielding as the steer above him, but I think he's a very good honest steer and safe. In second place is tag number 673, the grey steer before you. This steer really intrigued me. I really like the way he profiles behind. Probably doesn't have quite the length, but I think that's a steer, if you have a good look at him there, he's got a very strong top in him. A steer like that, to me, is going to score well in eating quality by the nature of him. I found it probably harder second, third and fourth. Probably the splits aren't a lot there, but I think when we get to the next steer, you can see that was a clear winner. A very tough class overall, but this is the steer that I've given second to. A very interesting steer, as I said, intrigued me, and you get in there, there's going to be some eye muscle to him, and he has the coverness and very even. This is a steer we've placed first in Class 4A, tag number 651. Lovely red steer. I felt he was a clear winner. He was only the second steer that I looked at as we walked down, and he's really stood in my mind the whole way throughout, looking over the rest of the steers. He's got a good hindquarter to him. He's strong through the top. He's got that length and width all the way from the hindquarter right through behind the shoulder, and a steer that is covered up well, and I thought was a clear standout winner in this class. So here we have highly commended the red Speckle Steer in Class 4B. Probably not as tough as the class of Class 4A, but still a very competitive class. This steer's found himself in highly commended. I really like the butt profile of this steer. I felt he probably just didn't carry that width right through the shoulder like some of the steers above him, but a steer that's got the cover, good depth, you know, a steer that'll meet the requirements of his fat and distribution. Highly commended in this class also is this Limousine Steer, steer that's got good length. The steer, I just felt there's some other steers there that may just have that bit more cover on him, but I mean, he's not a high yielding, like he's not a very heavily muscled Limousine Steer. You know, he's a good steer. He probably just lacked a bit behind through that butt profile as you come down through into the hind quarter. Probably just like to see a bit more there as meat as you come into the leg, but a good clean steer, steer that very even fat distribution. I just felt he probably just didn't have the volume of some of the steers above him. In 5th place is the red steer, tag 178. As we're getting heavier in these middleweights, we just got to be careful that we keep the, we have a look at the fat cover. You know, they've got to be 7 to 14, but just looking for steers that have that overall evenness, and this is a steer that's a good even package. As you have a look through him, you know, he's a complete steer, probably just doesn't have the overall volume of some of the steers above him, but he's a very safe steer, and that's why he's 5th today. In 4th place we have the Speckle Steer here. The steers that place 4th and 5th, very similar steers. The steer in 5th probably just had a bit better butt profile to him, but I really like the top in this Speckle Steer. You've got to get over the top of him and have a good look. Very even steer, you know, good eating quality steer in my opinion. In 3rd place we have the grey steer here. This steer, as we start to get higher in the placings, as you can see, this steer's got a lot better top in him, probably a better carcass profile throughout as you visually him standing there. Steer with good top line, you know, a well-muscled steer without being extreme, but a steer, I really like the depth of this steer if you have a look down through his flank, and I like the overall way he carries himself. Very good even covered steer. In 2nd place we have this grey steer here, tag number 170. If you have a look at him stand there, a tremendous amount of length to this steer. He's got that beautiful top in him. He's well covered down through the hind quarter into that flank. A steer, as you get under him and have a look, you can see he's got a good cot on him, so he's got the fat there. That's a steer that's very even distributed and worthy to be 2nd place. You know, there's not much splitting the top 3 steers in this class. In 1st place here we have tag number 150, the black steer, as you can see before you. I really fell in love with this steer as I seen him come in as I walked past him. He probably doesn't have the length of that steer that we've seen in 2nd there before earlier, but I felt this steer, very good profile to him. He's strong through the top, he carries that meat all the way through the shoulder. I love the hind quarter to this steer, and he fills it out. He fills himself out very well, and a very good even covered steer, and that's why I just felt overall his appearance and types just got him there today, but there's nothing in the top 3 steers in this class, and I've just decided to go with this fella in 1st.